Hey everyone, I'm Joe, and today I'm doing my December and Christmas 2016 book haul. This should be my last haul of the year, unless I suddenly get some more books within the next few days. Although I've got none in order and I'm not expecting any from any publishers, so it should be the last one. Anyway, this should be a small book haul, but a good one. There are 7 books in total. 5 of them were sent to me by the publisher, Guin. This was part of a sort of thank you sort of Christmas gift. I think they sent out an email to all bloggers and booktubers whom they have contact with, and obviously I'm one of them, and basically offered a selection of books out. You could choose either one book or many, and I obviously chose 5. The other 2 books were from my big sister for Christmas, and they were from a Amazon wishlist which I've got created, because obviously my sister never knows what books I've got, because, well, frankly, I've got an awful lot. So I knew which books they were going to be as such, I mean the selection of books, but I didn't know which individual books she was going to buy me, because obviously there's quite a few on the list, so it was somewhat interesting to see which ones she actually randomly chose. Anyway, that's enough of a long introduction. Now I'll get on to waving some books around. The first book is The Fireman by Joe Hill. This is a very large hardback. Actually, it's one of the largest hardbacks I probably now own, oddly enough. I'm not going to say too much about this because, frankly, The Fireman has been talked about an awful lot on BookTube over the last 6 months, I would say. And indeed, Chris from The Reading Road did a brilliant spoiler-free review of this, which is indeed why I noticed it and I've been wanting to read it since then. So I will link his review in the description box below, because he describes it much better than I ever could. Because this is apparently quite an interesting one. It's a post-apocalyptic sort of semi-dystopia set in our current world, well, roughly anyway. And there's some sort of weird, well, disease of sorts going around, where you get sort of scaly skin, and it means that you will basically set yourself alight randomly, you sort of self-immolation, and one man, obviously the fireman, is able to control this, and things happen from there. Obviously Chris does a much better description and indeed a full-on review, so just go there and watch it if you're particularly interested. The second book is from an author that I've actually met at Garland Fest a few months ago, and that is Roboteer by Alex Lamb. This is the first book in a trilogy, and frankly it's because of the Garland Fest that I've been aware of Alex Lamb, and obviously when I saw it on the list I thought, oh, definitely I have to have a go at reading this. It sounds quite interesting. It is science fiction. I believe it is cyberpunk. I know very little about it as a book. I will quickly read the back of the book. Humanity has been upgraded. Humanity has spread to the stars, upgraded with technology and genetic modification. Okay, that's sort of familiar. For the billions left on Earth, those who have tampered with the human form are heretics. And so the unequal war began. Earth has deployed a devastating new weapon, and so one outworlder ship and the new Roboteer are sent on what seems to be a suicide mission to discover the origins of this new threat. What they find will change the universe and the human race forever. Yeah, these sort of discoveries always change the human race and the universe, because frankly that's the scale of these kind of books, frankly, which is fine. It sounds interesting to me, and it's the first of a trilogy, so if I like it, there's 2 more books to get in the next few months and read. So yeah, quite interesting, this one. For the next 3 books, they're all by one author, and that is a trilogy, and that will finish off the books that I got by Guin, and that is the Dogs Trilogy, which is these. This is made up of War Dogs, which is obviously the first book and indeed the name of the trilogy, Killing Titan, and the new one, which isn't actually being released until the end of January, is Take Back the Sky. I have read books by Greg Bear before, 2 of them in fact, years ago, which I actually quite enjoyed. They were weird, but with some interesting ideas, and they were well written. These are military science fiction. I do not know much about the plot, and frankly I don't want to know too much, because especially when I've got the whole trilogy to read, I'm paranoid about basically creating spoilers for myself. But they do sound quite interesting, and it's Greg Bear, who by past experience is a pretty good writer, although I do know there's a few of his books which I do not want to read because some of his books are a bit more debatable in content. Well, yeah, that can be said about all authors, so yeah, I'm interested to get around to these. So now the 2 books from my big sister. As I said, I knew the selection of books that she was going to buy from, of course, because I created the wish list, but I didn't know which specific book. And this time, the books that she bought me were really one that I really did want. The one she bought me earlier in the year for my birthday, I mean, I still wanted them, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have been on my wish list, but they were ones that weren't quite as high on my wish list, frankly. These are ones that I really did want, really quite badly. And the first one is Always Coming Home by Ursula Le Guin. And indeed, yes, this is another masterwork. One of the yellow spine which goes down there. I know nothing about the part of this book at all. Literally, the only reason I added it to the masterworks, and the reason I want it, is because it's Le Guin. You know, Ursula Le Guin is known for writing extremely thoughtful and extremely well written books with fantastic ideas in them. I've read a couple of her books now and I've greatly enjoyed them. So as soon as I saw that this is part of the masterworks, I was like, yep, I want it, basically, that's it. There's no other reason for me to add it. I mean, it sounds pretty interesting as far as the plot goes, which I'll quickly read the plot back of. A long, long time from now, in the valleys of what will no longer be called Northern California, might be going to have lived a people called the Kesh. But Always Coming Home is not the story of the Kesh, rather it is the stories of the Kesh. Stories, poems, songs, recipes. Okay. Always Coming Home is no less than an anthropological account of a community that does not yet exist. A tour de force of imaginative fiction by one of modern literature's greatest voices. Now, I did have a brief look at this, and I've just turned to a random page, and there is a map in the middle of the book, which is really surprising. Having maps in the middle of books is really unusual. The layout of this book is really bizarre as well. There's pictures of flowers. There's a picture of what looks like a goat of coins here. Now I'm on to poetry, short stories. This is bizarre. I'm not sure what to think of this now, actually. Before it's just because it was Le Guin. Now I'm actually quite eager to read it because it just looks, frankly, weird. So yeah, I'm quite glad I got this. So now on to the final book, which is Ammonite by Nicola Griffith. And indeed, yes, this is another masterwork, so this collection is going to get even bigger. I don't know too much about this book now. I did earlier in the year when I was interested in it, but I've forgotten most of what I know about the plot, which I'm glad of, frankly, because it will be a bit more of a surprise to me. The reason that I've been wanting this book so much is because both first Catherine and then a few months later Rachel, who are both fellow booktubers, read this book and both really enjoyed it, and I trust both their opinions quite heavily. Obviously I will link their channels in the description box below. So this one is an interesting one to me. I own one other book by Griffith which I haven't read either, so this or that one may be my first book by her. It won't be my last, I suspect, because the ideas that she writes in her books do sound interesting and they sound my kind of thing. You know, they're very thoughtful and they really do challenge certain views on certain aspects of the world. So I'm quite eager to get around to this. So with that said, that's it for all the books. I've got 7 books in total, all of which sound quite interesting and quite varied. And I'm very happy to get around to all of them. If you've read any of these or would like to, then please leave a comment and we can have a conversation. All my social media links, as well as the various people that I mentioned, will be found in the description box below, as they always are. And that is it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.